his death like Mufasa. But then I got up, my spirit got roused up, and now I use these scriptures like 100-round chopper. They had me smoking weed like I'm a Rasta. A lion falling to his death like Mufasa. But then I got up, my spirit got roused up, and now I use these scriptures like 100-round chopper.
Now I use these scripts and I ain't talking about no pharmacy. Addicted to the law, ate the whole roll, not talking sushi. Yeah, I spit it raw, exposing flaws and ideologies. Christians want no smoke, I cut them up with no apologies. Fuck a Mac 11, this 1611 will give you 100 rounds. Everybody gather round as I put your favorite pastor 6 feet underground. This a funeral, I'm the undertaker and the mortician. Rehearse them righteous acts, pray I make it past them auditions. Used to be up in them churches catching hella Z's. Now I'm on them corners pushing P.
100-round chopper. Shalawam, shalawam. Let's give all praises be to the Most High Yahweh. Once again, all praises be to the Most High Yahweh, His only begotten Son, our brother, our friend, Hamashiach Yahushai. Shalawam to all the Ox out there, all the Ahchwaths. If you tuned in, thank you, Tawada, for tuning in. Please go back and hit the like button, subscribe, share, so that we can edify our people, get this message out continually. So it's important that you hit the like and subscribe, comment, and share. Once again, for all the Israelites out there, make sure you do that for one another. All right, so let's dive into the word. You already know I like to start off with Proverbs chapter 3, as always. And it says, the rewards of wisdom. My son, forget not my law. Let thy heart keep my commandments, for length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them upon thy neck, write them upon the table of thy heart. So shalt thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Ahchyam and man. Verse 5, trust in Yahweh with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. As always, verse 7, be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil. So I got a quick one here today for you. I wanted to touch bases on this because a lot of our people, for some reason, think that we don't have to keep the Sabbath day, that the commandments are done away with, and we don't need to keep the Sabbath day. So I want to touch on that basis a little bit, kind of dig around and get up some up from that foundation. Move some of that dirt around, some of that foundation around, so we can really see what's down there. So before I jump into Exodus, I'm going to go to Wisdom of Solomon. This is the 1611 King James Bible. Once again, the 1611 King James Bible. Wisdom of Solomon. One of the wisest men that was ever born, Solomon. And this is chapter 1. And it says, love righteousness, ye that be judges of the earth. So if you are a judge of the earth, if you feel that you are chosen and you are ministering and you're doing the work, putting your brick in for the kingdom, you will be a judge of the earth. Think of Yahweh with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. For he will be found of them that tempt him not, and showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him. So don't distrust in the Most High Yahweh. For forward thoughts separate from Elohim, and his power when he is tried. Reproof the unwise. For unto a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter, nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin. So if you're subjected unto sin, meaning you're just continually sinning and you're just basically under the willful sin, as Hebrew 10 and 26 says, you're subjected to it. The body or the spirit or wisdom cannot be with you. It says wisdom shall not enter. So it says verse 5, for the Kodash Rukah, or the Holy Spirit of discipline, will flee deceit, and remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in. For wisdom is a loving rakah, and will not acquit a blasphemer of his words. For Ahchyam is witnesses of his reigns, and a true beholder of his heart, and a hearer of his tongue. For the rakah of Yahweh filleth the world, and that which containeth all things have knowledge of the voice. Therefore, he that speaketh unrighteous things cannot be hid, neither shall vengeance, when it is punished, pass by him. For this inquisition shall be made into the counsels of the ungodly, and the sound of his words shall come unto Yahweh, for the manifestation of his wicked deeds. For the ear of jealousy heareth all things, and the noise of murmurings is not hid. Therefore, beware of murmuring, which is unprofitable, and refrain your tongue from backbiting. All you Israelites out there, the sisters and the ox, be careful with the murmuring and backbiting one another. We are all brothers and we are all sisters. We are one nation, right, of 12 tribes, and we must love each other. We're commanded to do this. For there is no word so secret that shall go forth not, and the mouth that believeth slayeth the soul. Seek not death in the era of your life, and pull not upon yourself destruction with the works of your hand. For Ahchyam made not death, neither have he pleasure in the destruction of the living. So there's no pleasure of the Most High in your destruction, right? So this is talking about wisdom. And in order to serve the Most High properly, as Solomon did, when he asked him what did he want, he said, I wanted wisdom to be able to know how to judge your people righteously. Verse 14, for he created all things that might have their being, and the generations of the world were healthful, and there is no poison of destruction in them, nor the kingdom of death upon earth. For righteousness is immortal, but ungodly men with their works. And this is what we're going to talk about, the works. And the words called into them, for when they thought to have it, their friend, they consumed to nothing or not, and made a covenant with it, because they are worthy to take part with it. So hopefully you can understand what he's talking about right here. He's talking about how wisdom won't be with you if basically you're going against the Most High, right? And it takes a little knowledge and some wisdom to see what's being said right here. So we'll start this off right here in Exodus chapter 16, and I'm going to start the Sabbath observe, right? And it says, and it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered. This is when the children of Israel received manna, or the bread, right? Twice as much bread, 2 omers for one man. And all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses. And he said unto them, this is that which Yahweh hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the Kodash Shabbat, or Sabbath, unto Yahweh. Bake that which ye will bake today, and see if that ye will see it. And that which remaineth over, lay up for you to be kept until the morning. Right? And they laid it up till the morning, as Moses bade. And it did not stink, neither were there any worms therein. And Moses said, eat that today, for today is a Sabbath unto Yahweh. Today ye shall not find it in the field. 6 days ye shall gather it, but on the 7th day, which is the Sabbath day, in it there shall be none. And it came to pass that there went out some of the people, some Israelites, went out on the Sabbath day for together, and they found none, just as the Most High and Moses told them that you wouldn't find no manna out there on the seventh day. But they went out anyway. And Yahweh said unto Moses, how long refuse ye to keep my what? Commandments. So these commandments of keeping the Sabbath day was given by the Most High. Because the Most High said right here to Moses, Yahweh said unto Moses, how long refuse you or ye to keep my commandments and my laws? See, for that Yahweh have given you the Sabbath, therefore he giveth you on the sixth day the bread of 2 days. Abide ye every man in his place. Let no man go out of his place on the seventh day. So the people rested on what? The seventh day, which is the Sabbath day, right? And the house of Israel called the name thereof manna. That's where you get the name manna. And it was like a coriander seed, white, and the taste of it was like a wafer made with honey. And Moses said, this is the thing which Yahweh commanded. Fill an omer of it and keep it for generations. Okay, now he's just talking about the manna, but my more concern is about the Sabbath, right? Now, let's get Exodus 20. Everybody know that it's in the Ten Commandments. Let's get it. Here go the Ten Commandments, right? Exodus 20, and it says, and Elohim spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh, thy Elohim, which have brought thee out of the land of Mizraim, or Egypt, out of the house of what? Bondage, slavery. Thou shalt have no other Elohims before me. Thou shalt make unto thee any graven image or any likeness or anything that's in the Shemayim above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth, right? Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, Yahweh thy Elohim, am a jealous Elohim, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me, and keep my what? Commandments. Nobody can override this. This is the Father speaking. What are you talking about that is done away with? He just said for the third and fourth generation, he coming out to the kids. Exodus 27, thou shalt not take thy name of Yahweh, thy Elohim, in vain. For Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. And it says right here, Exodus 20 and verse 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it Kodash, or holy, meaning to set it apart. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of Yahweh, thy Elohim. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made the Shemayim and the earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore Yahweh baraked it the Sabbath day, and hallowed it, meaning he set it apart, right? Where did he do this? Let's get it. Genesis, right here, chapter 2. The creation of man, it says, man and woman. Genesis 2 and 1, it says, thus the Shemayim, or the heavens and the earth, were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day, as you can see, what we just read in Exodus 20. And on the seventh day, Elohim ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim barak, or blessed it, exalted the seventh day, and sanctified it, meaning he set it apart, because that in it he had rested from all his work which Elohim created and made. Okay, so even right here in Genesis 2, the Elohim who did all of the creating, and we know who did this, right? Who did all the creating, He rested on the seventh day. Now, who did this? Let's get it for those who don't know. Let's go to Colossians real quick. And this is just for the ones who don't know. If you already know, just hold tight for a second. So this is Colossians 1:15. And it says, who is the image of the invisible Ahchyam, the firstborn. Who was the firstborn? Our brother, our friend, Hamashiach Yahushua. The firstborn of every creature. For by him were all things created that are in the Shemayim and that are in the earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones, or dominions, or principalities, or powers. All things were created by him. Who were they all created by? Yahushua Mashiach. The Father gave him the torch and told him to go ahead and create everything. Of course, everything comes from the Father. We're not taking anything from the Father. We give all praises to our Abanawi Yahweh. But he had the Elohim, which is Yahushua HaMashiach, the powers, and everybody else do and help with the creation, as it says right here in Colossians 1:16. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. And he is the head of the body, which is Hamashiach Yahushai, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead. Who was the firstborn from the dead? Hamashiach Yahushai, that in all things he might have preeminence. For it pleased who? The Father, who we just got through talking about. All praises be once again to our Abanawi Yahweh, called Halal Yahweh Bahashama Mashiach Yahushai, that in him should all fullness dwell, and having made peace through the blood of his what? Cross, by him, to reconcile all things unto himself. By him, I say, whether they be things in earth or things in the Shemayim. I'm going to stop right there because I'm going to stop right there. That's good enough. You know who I'm talking about. Go back to Colossians and read it if you don't. But like it says right here, all things was created by him, right? So in Genesis right here, this is Yahweh Shai putting in that word for the Most High, or Abanawi Yahweh, right? So we're talking about this Sabbath day that was given to the children of Israel right here. And it says, remember, right? Let me see if I could... Sometime it'll let me click on it. Okay, remember right there. And it says, bring one to mind, an awareness, someone or something that one has seen, known, or experienced in the past. So meaning, yes, in the past, in the olden times, if you want to say in the Old Testament, they kept the Sabbath day and remembered it. But this is why the Most High chose this word, remember. Let's click on that. I just want to understand what that word, so we can see. To remember. To recall. You can see it on the screen. Don't run. To remember. Recall. Call to mind. These are things that we need to know. That's why he chose that word, remember. So you can't say, oh, it's done away. No, he said to remember it. I.e., an example, to remember, by implication, to mention, right? I mean, it's all right here. You can see for yourself. You can click on this yourself if you want to. I'm on the Blue Letter Bible, okay? So we have to remember the Sabbath, that he set it apart, and he kept it what? Quadash. Keep it Quadash. What does that mean? To consecrate. Sanctify, prepare, dedicate, be hollow, be quadash, be sanctified, be separate, to be set apart. I mean, to show oneself sacred. Come on, to be honored. Come on. You see what it say. And that's the word quadash, or holy, And that's what the Hebrew right here, if you didn't know that, right? Which is the Qua, which is his first letter right here. It's a Q-A, Qua, Da, Sha, right? Quadash, right? for those who didn't know. So we must remember the Sabbath day. And that's what I went to Genesis to show that Yahushua kept the Sabbath day, right? Hopefully you understand from the wisdom of Solomon. We went into this, that wisdom will not dwell with the man who is evil or unrighteous, right? A malicious soul. When you're not keeping the Sabbath day, you are a malicious soul. Why? Because we were commanded right here in Exodus 20 to remember the Sabbath day and to keep it holy, right? And like I say, even Yahushua kept the Sabbath day. Let's get it right here. Mark 2. You got a question of the Sabbath? Go to Mark 2, chapter 2, verses 23, and it says, "And it came to pass that he went through the cornfields on the Sabbath day." Who is this he? Yahushua HaMashiach. And his disciples, who had disciples? Yahushua HaMashiach, right? Began as they went to pluck the ears of corn. And the Pharisees said unto him, "Behold, why do they on the Sabbath day that which is not lawful?" And he said unto them, "Have ye never read what David did when he had need and was an hungered, he and they that were with him, how he went into the house of Ahchyam in the days of Abiniathar," I murdered that name, "the high priest, and did eat the showbread." What did David eat? The showbread? Is that allowed? The showbread is only for the Most High Yahweh. How did David eat the showbread? Which is what? Not lawful. This is what Yahushua said. It's not lawful to eat. But for who? The priest. And David wasn't a Levitical priest. David was from the tribe of Yahweh or Judah. And gave also to them which were with him, which is unlawful. And he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man. I'm going to read that one more time. This is Yahushua HaMashiach speaking, who the world called Jesus Christ. He said, and he said unto them, the Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. Verse 28. Therefore, the Son of Man, who is who? Yahushua HaMashiach, is master. This word right here, Lord, means master. He is the master also of what? The Sabbath. Meaning he's over the Sabbath. He's the master of it, okay? He gave it to us to be able to rest in for that common man, right? I just want you to see that and know that. This is why I said, do you have any questions about the Sabbath, right? Even in Luke, if you go to Luke and it says the same thing. And it came to pass on the second Sabbath after the first, that he went through the cornfields, and his disciples plucked the ears of the corn and did eat, rubbing them in their hands. Certain of the Pharisees said unto them, why do you do what's not lawful on the Sabbath day? And he said the same thing here. So you can find it in Luke, you can find it in Mark, and you can find it in the book of Matthew, right? All these things that we talk about is right here in the book of Matthew. I'm not going to read it all because it's basically saying the same thing. But we can see here in 12:1, it says, at that time, Yahushua went on the Sabbath day through the corn, right? So who are these Pharisees talking to on the Sabbath day? They are talking to Yahushua HaMashiach, right? So Yahushua kept the Sabbath. But watch this. John chapter 5, verses 18. John 5 and 18, it says right here, therefore the Jews sought more, or the more, to kill him. Who was they trying to kill? Yahushua HaMashiach. Because he not only had broken what? The Sabbath day, so they say, but said also that Ahchwatts was his father. So he claimed, Yahushua HaMashiach claimed that Yahweh was his father. And they wanted to kill him for that, making himself equal with Ahchwatts. Then answered Yahushua and said unto them, truly, truly, this is what verily really means. It means truly. Truly, truly, I say unto you, the Son, listen to this. Who is it? The Son Muslims always asking, well, where does it say in the Bible that he's the son of the Most High? Where did he say he's the son of Allah? Where in that Bible does it say it? Everywhere, okay? Just pick it up and read it. Take the time. I'm sorry, Ishmael, but this is just what it is. John 5:19, it says, Then answered Yahushua and said unto them, Truly, truly, I say unto you, the Son can do nothing of himself. So there's nothing that the Son can do unless the Father has given him authority to do it, told him to do it, and gave him the power and might and with knowledge and wisdom to do it, right? This is what he said. The Son can do nothing of himself, but what he see who? The Father do. So whatever he sees the Father do, that's what he does. For what things soever he doeth, these also doeth the Son likewise. All praises be for that. So he's trying to teach us to do as the Father do. So for people that call themselves Christian, they walking as Hamashiach, which means the anointed one, right? You walking as Christ. He's doing what the Father is doing. This is why he says he wants you to be righteous. He wants you to be unspotted, unblemished, right? Or without any blemish. Verse 20. For the Father loveth the Son and showeth him all things. How does the Son know? Because the Father showed him all things, that him himself, Salaki, I said him himself, and showeth him all things that himself doeth. And he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. And he's letting you know. You may not understand, right? And that's why I went to Wisdom of Solomon first and started off with verse 1. It says, love what? Righteousness. What is righteousness? Keeping his commandment. How do we know this? Let's get it. Let me get another one. Where was I at? I was in John. Let me go right here real quick. How do we know this? Let me get it. Give me 1 second. Let's get it. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are what? Righteousness. What is righteousness? The commandments is. So if you want righteousness, then you got to keep the commandments. Wisdom of Solomon said what? Love righteousness, ye that be what? Judges of the earth. So if you love righteousness, which is Psalms 119, 172, what is righteousness? The commandments. Solomon said love righteousness, mean love the commandments, for the people that are the men or the women that are judges over the earth. Think of Yahweh with a good heart, and in simplicity of heart seek him. So this is what it's talking about right here. Don't marvel. You don't have to marvel. For those that are seeking him, for those that are doing righteousness, want righteousness, and he will show him greater works than these, that ye may marvel. For as the Father raiseth up the dead and quickeneth them, even so the Son quickeneth whom he will. For the Father judgeth no man. See? It's telling you. It's telling you right here. For the Father judges no man, but have committed all judgment unto who? The Son, Hamashiach Yahushua. That all men should honor the Son, even as they honor the Father. He that honoreth not the Son, honoreth not the Father, which have sent him. Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth, you must believe. You must believe. Remember, and I'm going to go somewhere, so I want you to really focus on 5:24. Truly, truly, I say unto you, he that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me, have everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. So what we must do, believe on him, that sent me. He that heareth my word and believeth on him that sent me have everlasting life. So don't let people tell you one thing, that the commandments is done away with and we don't have to keep the Sabbath day. Even Yahushua kept the Sabbath day, and he's the master of the Sabbath day. So when you don't keep the Sabbath day, it's like spitting in Yahushua's face. Let me get this one before I get out, and then I'll close out. It's like spitting in his face. It's basically giving our brother, our friend, Hamashiach Yahushua the finger, right? That's what it's basically like. Let me get this, and then I'll go ahead and close out. Because a lot of people go here and they got it all confused. So I'm going to try to make it as simple as possible. I really am. Let me see if I can go here. Actually, before I go here, let me see. I'm going to try to pull it in every translation they have. Because it says, think not. But people get so confused on Matthew 5 and 17. So I want to pull it right here. And it says in the NIV, do not think. This is the new NIV, right? And it says, do not think that I have come to abolish. Meaning I didn't come to do away. Abolish means to do away. It says, do not think, Christians, please listen up. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill, right? It was certain things about certain prophecies that he needed to fill. But don't get too happy, because in the next verse he said, until all be fulfilled, and we all know that all has not been revealed. I'm just establishing 5 and 17. And then ESV says, do not think that I have come to abolish the law, right? It basically says the same thing. Do not think that I came to abolish, right? Let's see what the NLT says. This is the best one, NLT. It says, do not misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or his writing or the writings of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their purpose. So hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to go back to it right here. But first I'm going to just go to the NLT. And that's what I'm going to read it in, the New Living Translation, so nobody can run from this. This is like so simple. This is milk, as Paul said. Matthew 5 and 17, it says, do not misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the writings of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their purpose. I tell you the truth, until the Shemaim and earth, or till heaven and earth disappear, which they have not. Heaven is still here and earth is still here. You can go outside right now and look up at the sky. It's still blue. Okay, the firmament is still there. And the earth you standing on, if you looking at this, you on the internet right now, so you still on earth. It says, not even the smallest detail of Ahchyam's law will disappear. This is Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world calls Christ, or Jesus Christ, saying this out of his own mouth. He says it will not disappear. Ahchyam's law will disappear until its purpose is achieved. And all has not been achieved. It says not even the smallest detail. You see this? Even the smallest detail, until the heaven and earth disappear. And we still on that. So the law is not done away with. Verse 19. So if you ignore the least commandment, right, not keeping the Sabbath day, when it says to remember it in Exodus 20 and 8, right here, Exodus 20 and 8. In Matthew, he said, so if you ignore the least commandment and teach others to do the same. So you teach others to break the Shabbat. You teach others to break the Sabbath day. You teach others that they don't have to keep the law, statute, and commandments. What does the Bible say? You will be called least in the kingdom. You will be called least in the kingdom. But anyone who obeys, that's not hard to see. But anyone who obeys Ahchwaths laws and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of the Shemayim, or the kingdom of heaven. So if you teach and you tell people to obey, not only do you obey the law, statute, and commandments, but you teach people to obey the law, statute, and commandments. It says that right here in Matthew 5:19 that you will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. And it says in verse 20, but I warn you, unless your righteousness. What is righteousness? The commandments. I already show you in Psalms 119, 172. My tongue shall speak of thy word, for all thy commandments are what? Righteousness. So it said in Matthew, but I warn you, unless your righteousness is better than the righteousness of the teachers of the religious law, who? The Pharisees, because the Pharisees was not keeping the law. They was putting all these laws on these people, like Yahweh said, washing your hands and things like that, but which is not in the Torah. But they wasn't even keeping the law themselves. But I warn you, unless your righteousness is better than the righteousness of the teachers of the religious law and the Pharisee, you will never, never enter the kingdom of heaven, or Shemayim. So be careful. This is why it's so important that we remember the Sabbath day, as I have read earlier, to keep it Kodash, to keep it set apart. Don't let these pastors, your family, your friends, whoever it is, tell you that the law is done away with and you don't need to keep the Sabbath day. It is written that we need to keep the Sabbath day. Okay? As it says right here in verse 17, don't misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law of Moses or the writings of the prophets. No, I came to accomplish their purpose. And I know you're going to say, well, that's why he died on the cross. So he came to accomplish, but he did not accomplish everything. How do we know that? Because right here in the very next verse, in verse 18, he says, I tell you the truth. Meaning, listen here. What I'm speaking here today is truth. Until heaven and earth disappear. And this is how we know all is not accomplished, because we're still on earth. And the firmament is still up there. You can see the blue sky. Okay? Just have that understanding. I tell you the truth. Until heaven and earth disappear, not even the smallest detail of the law, of Elohim's law, will disappear until its purpose is achieved. And it hasn't been achieved, because we just read right here in John that all authorities be given to Hamashiach Yahweh to judge, and he hasn't judged the people. He hasn't judged the earth yet. He has not came back yet. So all has not been achieved. So once again, stop believing in your pastors, your elders, your congregation, whoever it is, whatever leader you under, whatever people you under, stop believing in them. Open up your Bible and read it for yourself, okay? Hopefully this was edifying for you about the Sabbath day. We give all praises, honor, glory, esteem to our Abanawi Yahweh, called Halal Yahweh, by Shama Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Shalawam to all the Ahchs and Ahchwaths out there. Kwam Yasharala. And with that, I want to say Shalawam.
But then I got up, my spirit got roused up, and now I use these scriptures like 100-round chopper.